Hey everyone, it's July 26th, and that means that if today's your birthday, you share with serial killer Kendall François, known as the Poughkeepsie Killer, who murdered 8 victims in the 1990s, and that is him right up there. Born in 1970, François spent most of his life in Poughkeepsie, New York, living in his parents' home that they purchased in 1974. A football player in high school, he had a seemingly normal upbringing just down the street from Vassar College. He joined the Army in 1990 but was discharged in 1992 for obesity, returning to upstate New York to live with his parents and sister and attend community college, taking classes on and off for the next 5 years. Francois worked briefly as a janitor and school monitor at a local junior high, where some teachers complained that he acted inappropriately towards female students, touching their hair and telling dirty jokes, and was nicknamed Stinky by the students. In 1996, prostitutes began disappearing from the streets of Poughkeepsie, and after 4 of them disappeared, the FBI was called for assistance with what the local police believed was a serial killer operating in the area. It turns out Francois had been picking up sex workers, choking them to death, then bathing their corpses and stashing them in the attic or crawl space of his home. Most of his victims fit a profile: white, slim, short brown hair, and all spent time in parts of town where prostitutes were known to gather. Francois was identified as a regular customer who was notorious for being rough during sex, but no solid evidence tied him to the missing women, and the police thought he was just an abusive customer, but not a killer. They did pick him up for an interview, and after letting him go, another victim was claimed less than an hour later. Despite being called to his parents' home multiple times to deal with half-naked women fleeing the premises, investigators had essentially ruled him out as the possible killer. Francois even had the lead detective come inside and showed him his bedroom right underneath the attic where he had hidden multiple victims. It wasn't until 1998 when the case took a turn after Francois abducted a prostitute who managed to escape his strangulation attempt. Detectives happened to be canvassing the area and were able to talk to the woman about her experience just after she got away, and she filed a complaint against Francois. When questioned about that incident, he volunteered that he had abducted and killed the 8 missing women and directed police to search for a bag in the crawl space beneath the home he shared with his family. It was a mess inside, similar to a home you'd see on the TV show Hoarders, with garbage strewn about, causing one detective to remark that in all his time on the job, he'd never seen such wretched living conditions. Francois had told his family there was a dead raccoon in the attic he couldn't find, but with the general level of filth, it seems unlikely they would have noticed the smell of the bodies anyway. Investigators had to wear hazmat suits with masks to endure the stench when they entered the home. Soon they emerged with corpses that had been stashed throughout the house. In the attic, in the basement, in the crawl space, 8 bodies in all were found, but identifying them was difficult due to their advanced state of decay. Francois' family claims they had no idea about his crimes and that the stench from the garbage in the home hid the smell of the dead bodies. He eventually pleaded guilty to 8 murders, receiving 8 life sentences, and died in prison 16 years later from complications due to AIDS at the age of 43. If this is your birthday, I hope you have a great day. Leave me a comment so I can wish you a happy birthday. If you know someone's birthday it is today, send them this video. And to Kendall François, I say, happy birthday, you bastard.